Hi guys, this is Leo from Quotes on Posters, and today I'm going to talk about this quote here by Oscar Wilde: "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." So, I think that it's really actually hard for you to be yourself after you get all this influence from culture and from the things that are around you. We got influenced by all these people, like Hollywood actors and artists, people that we like, people that we admire, and all these things that we watch and we observe in society and in culture, they end up transforming who we are, right? And then we kind of lose the originality of who we are, even though we all have different personalities. We kind of stop. We get so much influenced by outside aspects of people, of things and society and culture and everything, that we tend to lose ourselves, our identity, or we tend to just become people that don't have anything special on us, right? And sometimes we also tend to hate ourselves, right? We tend to look at ourselves and we feel the pressure of the world, because if you want to really become someone that with your own opinion, if you want to really become someone that is really honest with yourself, with who you are, with the things that you want, the values that you have about life and about the world, you want to be really honest with yourself. So you really have to be yourself. You have to stop caring about what other people might say or might think, which doesn't mean you can actually that doesn't mean you can listen to what other people has to say, because you can be also, and this is the very hard thing, right? You can be someone that is terrible. You can be a terrible person that no one likes to be with you. No one wants to do anything with you. Nobody wants to do business with you or have any kind of relationship with you. And then you don't want to listen to anyone's opinion about how you could improve, how you could change, and then you just become this sort of stubborn person. And you can even still become happy being that way and happy being yourself, happy being an asshole to others, treating other people bad, taking advantage of them, cheating on them, lying, manipulating, all these good things, right? And you could do all these things and you could still love yourself. And this is a big danger, right? Isn't it? Like, I think that this is something that everybody actually is doing. Everybody is really... Everybody's have their beliefs. Everybody wants to believe that they're good. So we're living in this world where everybody have their own opinions and their own ideas, but we have to live together, we have to live in a group. Unfortunately, we cannot be alone. We have to cooperate with each other. We have to cooperate with each other even though we don't think like each other. We have some different preferences and different ideas. And I think the danger in society really lies when you become someone that society doesn't want. Because, for example, this quote here says, be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Okay, what if I want to kill people? What if I want to murder? Or what if I want to rape? Then there are this notion in society, there's like a general consensus that is most of the times I think is manipulated, is a manipulated consensus that something is good or something is not good, right? And then kind of society kinds of critiques and judge you if you're doing something that is not considered good for society. But the problem lies much deeper than that, because if you really think about it and if you're honest with yourself, if you go, like, anyone can reach this conclusion that good and bad is totally subjective, right? There's no good and bad. Yet there's something that society says that is good, or the general consensus of people say there's good, but in the end of the day it's all a big lie. So that's why I understand, these people who rebel against society and they commit these crimes and these atrocities, like they go and kill people in schools and then they drive trucks on people. What's happening is that we as a society, as a group, we are failing to trust in the group again. Like we are lacking trust in our governments. We are lacking trust in the big corporations and all these things, because we see that really everything is a big creation. Everything is a big manipulation, right? To take your money, to take your work, to take your labor, to take your time. It's a kind of slavery, what the kind of life that we're living, all of us are living now. Because we have to sell our time to someone else in order to survive, and the whole system is kind of rigged against us, right? In a way it is, but this is happening to everybody. But then you see that on the high levels, on the top levels, what these people, what society is creating, what governments are creating, is that they are manipulating the system in their favor. So for example, for the government is okay to create money. So for the government is okay to print money out of nothing, out of the trees, and put money into the world. But for me, if I print money, then the government says that I'm committing a crime, right? But who wrote these laws? Like, I didn't participate on that, right? I was just born into this world, and they were already doing these things, and now they're telling me I'm a criminal if I go and print my money, or if I go and try to create my own country or my own government. They're gonna come to me and they're gonna kill me. And they're gonna kill me, and they're not gonna say that they are committing a crime. They're not gonna say that they are killers. They're gonna say that I am against the state. They're gonna say that they are protecting the state. They're gonna change their names into something good, right? So the thing is, the human nature is very evil, you know. It's very, maybe evil is not the right word, but in a sense, we as human, as individuals, we are trying to just survive. We're trying to survive, and we're trying to survive the best way we can. And yes, if we have the opportunity to enslave someone so we can have a better life, we will, right? And that's the truth, that's the reality of the world, that's the reality of society. And that's why people are always gonna disappoint you, for this exact reason. Nobody is going to sacrifice themselves for you. Nobody, maybe your mother or your father, but nobody else is gonna do that. Because we are we are just looking for, like, deep down, subconsciously, we are just looking for our own good. We are looking for our happiness. We are looking for our survival, our comfort. We're not gonna die, you know. We don't want to. We want to have a good life, and we don't care if someone else is suffering, you know. I mean, society is really fucked up, but it's not fucked up. It's just the way it is. They fill us with a lot of ideas and a lot of concepts just to try to manipulate us. But the truth is that the collective is just individuals battling with themselves, and they becomes this big thing called the collective. which is basically just a bunch of people at the top enslaving others at the bottom, and the people at the top also fighting with themselves to see. It's pretty much like Game of Thrones, if you think about it. It's actually who is gonna enslave who. And that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. It's 6 billion people competing and fighting with each other to who is gonna enslave who. But that's done in a very subtle way. That's done in a way where nobody actually perceives this, because it's invisible. But it's there, it's there. And it's there because you feel it's there. You might not feel with your relationships around you. Like, for example, you might not feel that your wife is trying to enslave you, or that you are trying to enslave someone. You might not get this feeling, but because you might be actually working, you might be collaborating with someone else in a group, so you could enslave other groups. And when I mean slave, I mean it's also this notion of slavery is also not so very clear, because society doesn't create these ideas, but in a sense that's exactly what it is. It is a slavery. It is a power game. It is a power game between people. And we live in cities, we live in communities, and we do have power games inside all these communities and inside all the organizations. So you live in a company, you have a boss, the boss have a boss, maybe people report to you. The whole thing is a pyramid scheme. But we fail to understand that, and we fail to realize that, and we fail to come with good terms on that, right? But the reason I'm saying this related to this quote, be yourself, everyone else is already taken, is that when you start to be yourself, you're gonna feel like a kind of a rebellion from society. You're gonna feel a kind of force coming from society, trying to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. If you become yourself, and for example, if you become the really selfish person that you are, that only cares about your self-survival and nothing else, and if you expose that to society explicitly, you're gonna get punished. You're gonna get punished by society. That's why you have to actually be smart about it. And also you have to know exactly what you're doing, because eventually you cannot just be honest and say whatever comes into your mind in the most harsh way ever, Because they're gonna chase you. Society is gonna chase you. They're gonna say bad things about you. They're gonna say you're a murderer. They're gonna say you're a rapist. They're gonna say whatever they're gonna say. You don't, in today's world, you just can't go and say anything. They're gonna call you different names. But they're gonna deny the reality of human nature. They're gonna deny because it's easy. It's easier to deny than to accept this, than to accept that humans are actually made to enslave other humans. We are social animals. This kind of reality, people are not willing to accept, and then if you go out and say these things, then society is gonna put you in a cage. They're gonna say you are the crazy one. No, I'm not the crazy one. Everybody is. And everybody's playing these stupid games, trying to be nice with each other. Trying to be perceived as good people, when in reality everybody is suffering inside. You know, everybody is being totally fake inside, like they are putting this image out there about themselves, when inside they're crumbling inside. They have fear. They have all these feelings, you know, this anger, fear, all these ego feelings consuming them inside. Because they feel like they are getting used, right? They're not getting what they want. So for you to actually really be yourself in a world like that, for you to really be yourself and not give a fuck about all that, you have to be really brave. You have to really be really brave. Because if what you are is not what society accepts, you're gonna face serious retaliation. And you bet yourself that they're gonna hunt you and they're gonna want your life. They're gonna kill you. Not only you and your family, but everyone else. That's the price you get by being yourself. So that is a very deep notion, to actually really be yourself and be who you are. Know who you are. It's a very important notion for you to actually realize the consequences of it, that it might be to everyone else, you know. Right, sorry, the battery went down. So let me just conclude what I was going to say about this, is that for you to be yourself, for you to really be yourself and say that, show that to society, you have to be really brave, because what everybody else is doing is I think they're not being themselves. I think they are kind of, but they're hiding some parts of them, because they know that society will judge them and will criticize them. and I think everybody is doing that. You know, everybody is just showing their good side and trying to hide their bad side. You know, because they're afraid society is gonna go and criticize them. And sometimes there's these people that you see, some people who really don't give a damn and who really say whatever they want. And these people, they get heavily criticized and they don't give a shit. And these people, they don't get the special privileges of society, so they're not gonna get very far if they want money or if they want success. I think because if they're really true and they're really honest and they're not putting a facade, I think they're gonna have a really bad time. They're gonna really struggle. That's what I see. Or unless they are already successful and unless they already have an audience, and then people are willing to listen to them and pay for him to speak whatever he wants. And then it just becomes this thing where people are paying, and then because people are paying, there are corporations interested in hosting this person, and then this person, yes, can become successful. But unless that, it's going to be really hard. They're going to get threatened and all this kind of shit. So yeah, think about that. Try to be yourself, but be smart about what society is going to tell you about that, the retaliations, and see you next time. Bye.